We're on page 64, practice, and I want you to know that most of these exercises that we're doing are ones that you've already done. And I purposefully, when I wrote this book, I purposefully used the same exercises over and over because I want you to be able to go back. You're going to have to identify your prepositional phrases. You're going to have to identify your nouns, your conjunctions, your pronouns, and you've already got that done. And so it won't be much more work just to reference those. I'm going to go ahead and do all of them so that you can, again, we'll just go through each step, but we're identifying adjectives. And I'm going to go ahead and find all my prepositional phrases to begin with, because as we learned in our discussion earlier, it makes it a whole lot easier because you know the adjectives are going to be in between the preposition and the object of the preposition. So that will make it a little bit easier. And you should already have this done because these are the same sentences. I do want you to know I did add some adjectives though, as I was writing this for you to be able to just to make it like gorgeous yellow straw. I added that. That's not in your in the other one. All right, so let's go through this, and I'll just walk you through my thought process. And as you are looking at this, hopefully that lines up with your answers. All right, so I've identified the prepositional phrases. I'm going to go ahead and highlight. I think I'm going to use green for adjectives. I can't remember what I used the other day. Green for adjectives, because and let's use this dark blue for conjunctions because we don't really need. Okay, so now let's go through and identify the nouns. We always have to identify the nouns first. Oop, I missed a pronoun right there. I always miss the pronouns. I don't know why. There's another one. Okay, so we have the nouns done. Now let's go through and let's go through now and identify all of the articles, a, an, and the. There's an and. That's all. Okay. So once upon, those are prepositions. It really should actually be this way. Once tells when, so upon a time, that's a prepositional phrase. And old, there's an adjective right there. Old tells what kind of a sow. And 3 little tells what kind of, how many and what kind of pigs. And I didn't even highlight that one, did I? Okay, here we have another conjunction. She did have what? Food. How many, which one, what kind, or how many is modifying food. So that is an adjective. We have a prepositional phrase. She sent, that's what she did. That's an action. Out tells where. And then we have an infinitive phrase. We have the word fortune, but the word seek is the verb. So that's all the adjectives that we have in that sentence. So I'm going to pause this and go through and make all the markings so that I can bring us up to date. And then I'll start with identifying just the nouns and help you with the adjectives. That'll save you some time to watch this. Okay, I've made a key so that as you see this, you can know that anything highlighted in green is pronouns, anything highlighted in pink are adjectives, underlined and in red are nouns, blue are conjunctions, and parentheses are prepositional phrases. So let's go to number 2. And let's begin by identifying our nouns. So we're going to pig is a noun. A man, not a man, man is a noun. This has to be a noun because it's in the object of a preposition. And straw. So once we've identified our nouns, and then we go and ask then we go and identify our articles. So our articles are just a, an, and the. Okay, then we go to our noun and we ask which noun, what kind, which pig, what kind of pig, or how many pigs. Well, the first is which one, and what kind of pig is the little. So the first and little are all adjectives modifying pig. So let's go to the next one, and the only word before that is met, but that is an action, so we're not going to mess with that one. We've already done a bundle, so we know that a is it's an article, and then straw, which straw, what kind of straw, the gorgeous yellow straw. And we know just from the way the structure of this is, we've already said this is a prepositional phrase. Really, the only thing that goes inside of a prepositional phrase is the preposition, the adjectives, or the nouns. So we know if it's inside of a prepositional phrase in between the preposition and the noun, it's more than likely going to be adjectives. Let's go to number 3 and identify our nouns. So pig is a noun, and man is a noun. We've already said me is a pronoun. That is a relative pronoun. Oh, I said relative. I made that a conjunction. That's a relative pronoun. Okay. Straw is a noun. And house is a noun. Okay, now let's go back and let's ask ourselves. Let's go back and identify a, ands, and thes. That's because they're always adjective. And I want to show you something. Look up here in this adjectival order. Number 1 is the article. Number 10 is the noun. Everything in between the article and the noun are more than likely adjectives. That also will help you with your placement in identifying these. Okay, we were number 3. And we have a. Okay, now let's go to our noun and ask ourselves which pig, the little pig. There we go. And which man, the kind man. And which straw, what kind of straw? The shiny yellow straw. Both of those are adjectives. And let's go to house. What kind of house? Which house? A strong house answers what kind. And there we have our adjectives. All right, let's go to number 4 and let's identify our nouns. We know pig is a noun. We know house is a noun. We learned that from last time. Okay. Now let's go and identify a, ands, and thes. Okay, now let's go and ask, what is the word kind? Does it modify man? It tells which man, the kind man, as if there was a mean one. Which pig, the little pig. Which house, the shiny yellow straw house. Again, we know that because it's in between the noun and the word a. And that's all. All right, let's go to number 5. Wolf is a noun. And here's another wolf. And door. Now let's go and identify our a, ands, and thes are articles. Okay, now let's go ask ourselves what kind of wolf, which wolf? A fierce wolf. That's an adjective modifying wolf. Here's an angry wolf. And what kind of a door? A straw door. And there we have our adjectives. Okay, I'll come back to this in just a second. Give me a pause. All right, so let's go to number 6 and let's identify our nouns. Here we have pig. That is a noun. Pig is, oops, not little pig, just pig. It's a noun. And house is a noun. Now let's go identify any a, ands, and thes, any articles. And I do not see any articles in that sentence. Now let's go to each noun and let's look to the left. And the word said is an action, but little, we know little already is an adjective. So we got 2 littles right there. Let is an action, come is an action, inside is a preposition. So, and we know your is a pronoun. So which house? The nice straw house. Those are adjectives. I hope you're seeing the structure of our language, of how this works. Once we dissect it, it makes it pretty obvious. All right, this one, I've done the prepositions, but I missed, obviously, I'm always missing pronouns. I don't know why I can't seem to see those the first time. Okay, let's go and identify all of our nouns. So pig is a noun. And hares is a noun. And chin chin is a noun. Okay, now we go and we identify all of our articles, a, ands, and thes. Okay, now we go to our nouns and we ask which pig? The little pig. Which hares? The long green hairs. And which chin? The chinny chin chin. There we have it. All right, number 8, let's identify, we've got our prepositions, but of course I forgot and didn't do my pronouns. So this one, remember this one, we have all of these pronouns. I think there were 4 I's in that one. Your is a pronoun. Okay, now let's go and identify our nouns. Huff and puff and blow, all of those are verbs. They're action, so house is a noun. And pile is a noun. And straw is a noun. Okay, and then after we do that, we need to go to the nouns. And do we have any articles? A is an article. Okay, now let's go to our nouns and look to the left. And we see shiny and yellow. That tells what kind of a house. And then we look in between the article A and the pile, and great big are both descriptors. So those are adjectives. And then we have also dirty brown, straw. So there we have our adjectives in that sentence. All right, number 9. So let's just kind of go through and do a precursor here. He is a pronoun. He is a pronoun. He is a pronoun. Into a huge pile is a pronoun. A broken and twisted straw is a pronoun. We have and as a conjunction. Several ands. Okay, and so is actually a conjunction too, but all right, let's see. Now huffed and puffed and blew, those are actions, so we're not going to do anything with those. Let's go to house. And that, oops, is a noun. Pile is a noun. And straw is a noun. All right, do we have any articles? Here's the word the. So let's make that an adjective. And a is an adjective. Oh, I missed an and right here. Okay. Now let's go to our nouns and look in front. Which house? The little pink pig's house. Here we have a word that is a noun, but it's got an apostrophe. It's showing possession, so we're going to call it an adjective. Huge modifies pile, and broken and twisted modifies straw. There we have it. I hope your paper looks like that too. Okay, number 10. Let's go through and identify what we know up front. So we have beside the little pigs form a straw house, the prepositional phrase. We have no conjunctions, and I don't see any pronouns. So let's identify our nouns. Wolf is a noun, and pig is a noun, and house is a noun. Okay, and then let's go through and identify our articles, a, an, and the. Okay, now I want to ask you, all the time we've been doing this, have you seen any time where there's been something other than adjectives in between the word the and the noun? Rarely. That just almost is an absolute given that in anything between the word the or a or an and the noun is going to be adjectives. So that makes it easy. Okay, that's exercise 1. I'll see you back in exercise 2 in a little bit.